Okay, let's take a look at the music and see what we can see there. And it has actually been a hot minute, as they say, as Dean says, since I've seen this. So yeah, forgive me if anything is a bit rusty here, but essentially the music, um, the main music track here contains the reference or the child events, and um, we might see some automation here somewhere if we scrub through. Oh, we've got some danger automation there, and that's just controlling a bit of the crossfading between the danger states. Um, so there's not going to be a whole lot happening in this parent track. Most of the exciting stuff is going to happen in the individual child tracks. Let me just have a quick look at, excuse me, at the faders. Nothing crazy really going on here at all. It's high priority, so it's never going to cut out when there's a load of guns going off. Um, if I take a look at a child track, we see that there's actually not a lot happening here. There was at one stage, but we can see that we have regions. Let me just maybe choose. No, I'll just keep it here for now. We've got regions defined by biomes, and it's going to play through the region until it detects that another string has come in from either Arctic or swamp biomes, and then it'll push the play cursor to another region. And this is how we effectively change biomes, and we do this quantized to the beat as well, so it's nice and smooth and how we like it. So that's the general idea of how we change between different biomes. And the activity layer one, the original idea was to have, well, layers so that it's just clear here when you're looking at it what the priority system is. So that larger numbers will override lower numbers. So the activity layer is just like your basic kind of activities, exploring and doing something. And the idea is that the next level, proximity, it will override the activity layer, um, because maybe it's more important and you're close to something that should um, make make its own musical theme or whatnot, which should kind of interrupt the activity layer. Now, it's not a whole lot going on there either because some of that stuff was removed and it was decided not to put it back in. But this was activating enemy base music, so that overrides your general sense of, oh, I'm just exploring and there's some nice exploring music. And that logic kind of goes also higher with the combat music. We've got the light combat and the heavy combat. So this gets a bit more involved at this stage because um, we've got different categories of music depending on how large the AI swarm is with this parameter called aggro mass. So we've got the combat general instructions that are baked into our loop regions here, which swap what biome it is. But then each biome is broken down into aggro mass categories. Depending on how big the swarm of enemies you're fighting is, you'll get a more developed sense of the theme. Um, so let me just see if I can audition this. We've got something going on in the woods. I'll just bring this down. Let's increase the size of the AI swarm. Oh, I just missed the beat. There we go. So that's how we kind of preview, the size of the enemy swarm and the danger level. That's just an extra parameter that makes sure those layers are being controlled strictly, if you like, in the main layer. And then the heavy combat comes in. We've got top lines and different instrumentation comes in, and that's also biome specific. And that's nice because they work together. They are locked in time, and they always crossfade very smoothly, which is nice. We also had the idea to introduce extra layers that override that, such as faction specific layers. We have enemy base music actually coming in here. And this is a separate event. This comes in separately because it kind of doesn't need to sync up in terms of the music that's already playing. It will come in and create its own kind of special moment. And you can see some of the old activities that we had music for up here as well, actually, just out of interest. We had a nice one where it's like a safe kind of proximity to tech yard and hauling and harvesting, but um, that actually just sort of defaulted to having playlists for general bass music, so you get some nice distance based. We have a parameter for it. Where is it? Explore distance. Yeah, here we go. So after much experimentation, it was decided to just sort of have music coming in randomly depending on how much ground you've driven without engaging in combat and doing other specific types of activities. And this kind of rewards that sense of just exploration on the planet. And we actually get these random guitar licks every now and then if your explore distance is below a certain threshold. But then if you go over that threshold, you start to get basically developed tracks, if you like, and they're really nice, especially the grasslands ones. There's three variants of that at the moment, and we've only got one variant of that happening in the swamp and the Arctic biome. But obviously, this is a work in progress, and the game has to scale before a lot more music gets added here. But that's essentially the activity parameter, and there's also a new biome, kind of a stinger, that's run as a separate event, and there's a launch pad event. I think that was taken out because actually a lot of launching happens in the game, and we didn't quite have enough audio material to cover that, and it was a bit of a stretch goal at that point. So that's more or less where the music system is at the moment, and yeah, hope you find that useful.